Hello, and welcome back to another 327th Star Corps video. We appreciate you joining us today as we dive into the April Fool's incident of 2025 and how Killer and the IT Council played a major role in the loss of life within the 327th. If you enjoy this video, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to help support the channel. Don't forget to engage with us in the comment section. Even just a simple hello helps us out a lot. Now, let's jump into today's video and explore the events that shook the very foundations of the 327th Star Corps. From the IT Council's brief reign to Killer's manipulative rise to power. We'll break down how their actions led to the tragic fallout and ultimate transformation of the division. Killer, once a prominent figure in the IT 327th Star Corps, initially rose through the ranks to become the company commander of the Al-Bakta Company, a specialized medic unit within the 327th. Bakta Company was tasked with providing medical support and healing, playing a crucial role in sustaining the division during battles. Killer's position as company commander gave him significant authority and access to the inner workings of the 327th, allowing him to wield power and influence within the division. However, beneath his seemingly noble role as a leader of medics, Killer harbored ambitions far beyond the responsibilities of his station. Though outwardly appearing as a dedicated officer, his actions would soon reveal that his true motivations were far more self-serving and manipulative. Killer's involvement in the Council's corruption and the subsequent downfall of the 327th Star Corps would solidify his legacy as one of the most notorious and deceptive figures in the division's history. The Council was founded on March 31st, 2025, just as the 327th Star Corps was experiencing internal tensions and challenges in leadership. Its formation was intended to bring about a more organized, efficient way of running the division, with the idea that a centralized governing body would allow for smoother decision-making and improved management. However, what began as a noble effort quickly became a machination of power, as the Council's members, including Killer, sought to manipulate the system for their own gain. The Council was only in power for a few hours, as it was swiftly dissolved following a revolution led by Tuxedo Lux, Biotix, Xarma, and Bomberben, who united against the oppressive force the Council had become. Despite the Council's brief existence, its impact on the division was disastrous, leaving behind a legacy of corruption, greed, and betrayal. Killer, as a central figure in the Council's rise and fall, played a pivotal role in the 327th Star Corps' corruption and eventual destruction. Initially, Killer presented himself as a loyal supporter of the Council, gaining their trust and positioning himself to wield considerable influence within the division. However, his loyalty was a facade. His true motivation was far more self-serving. Under the guise of a prank, Killer faked his discharge from the 327th, allowing him to leave the division temporarily while quietly gaining support from key members like Coolmundus, Alessi, and Ford. His exit strategy was nothing more than a tactical maneuver, allowing him to gain further leverage in the division and prepare to re-enter the fold at a later time when the council's power was at its weakest. During this time, the council, already floundering due to its overreaching decisions and increasing corruption, was embroiled in illegal dealings with the newly established Erzai. The council secretly conspired with RSI to profit off stolen morph designs. From Blueprint, designs that were dispersed across the 327th HighCom. These actions were undertaken without permission, and Killer, having already gained influence within the council, used this opportunity to embezzle funds PIA from the weakening body, draining its resources for his own personal benefit. This exploitation not only destabilized the council, but also revealed its true nature, a greedy, self-serving entity that cared little for the well-being of the division. As the council's foundation began to crumble under the weight of their corruption, they resorted to oppressive tactics to maintain control over the division. Perhaps one of the most infamous actions was the forcible imprisonment of Blue Baked Bean, a trooper who dared to peacefully protest against the council's oppressive rule. Instead of quelling dissent, this move ignited greater resistance, inspiring more members to take a stand against the corrupt leadership. However, the council's response to this rebellion was brutal. Public executions of dissenters became the norm, and even fellow 327th Star Corps members were executed for speaking out against the regime. This widespread brutality only fueled the resistance, and Imya Boy, one of the council's enforcers, earned the title Yellow Butcher for his role in carrying out the public executions and suppressing the unrest. The resistance, galvanized by the council's actions, grew stronger and more organized, and the writing was on the wall for the council's rule. After suffering several decisive defeats at the hands of the rebels, Imya Boy reluctantly agreed to dissolve the council and restore HighCom, though he did so with great disappointment and frustration. However, in the aftermath of the council's dissolution, a power vacuum emerged, and Killer, ever the opportunist, saw this as the perfect chance to once again assert his influence. Seizing the opportunity in the chaos, he resubmitted himself into the division under the pretense of seeking to help restore order, though his true intention was to gain further control and manipulate the situation for his own benefit. His re-entry was a clear example of how he was willing to exploit every opportunity for personal gain, using the division's turmoil to position himself for greater power. Despite his attempts to take advantage of the situation, Killer's actions served to further emphasize the council's legacy of greed, betrayal, and oppression. His manipulative tactics, embezzling funds, and collaboration with RSI only made the council's reign even more disastrous and contributed to its rapid downfall. The actions of the Killer, in concert with the council's greed and corruption, ultimately left the 327th Star Corps in ruins. Despite his initial success in manipulating the situation, Killer's role in the council's collapse made it clear that those who use deception and self-interest to gain power can never truly thrive in the long run. The division, having endured the council's betrayal and Killer's manipulations, emerged from the chaos stronger but scarred, and the 327th Star Corps ultimately restored its rightful leadership with HICOM. The Council's failure stands as a testament to how greed, manipulation, and cruelty can destroy even the most powerful organizations, while the true spirit of the 327th Star Corps was only restored after it fought back against the oppression and corruption that threatened to tear it apart. Thank you all for watching, and remember to stay vigilant within the 327th community. Report any misconduct or corruption, and we'll help spread the word to ensure our division remains strong and true. Thank you, and goodbye.